A simple checklist was able to save lives. And here's how. You see, deaths in surgery rooms were not always natural complications. Shockingly, a lot of them were due to human error. It was found that a lot of surgeons actually missed little steps. For example, like washing their hands properly, or remembering to take out the gauzes from the patient. Small things in the moment. However, they did cause a lot of deaths. So the question that you have to ask is, well, how the heck do we solve human error? And well, you guessed it right. It is going to be a checklist. You see, after a checklist was developed and mandated, the deaths in surgery room went down. So there's definitely something more about a checklist than meets the eye. But in all honesty, I think we already knew that. You see, it's just common sense. If you follow a checklist every step, you are not going to miss a step. However, just as anything in the world, you're going to see that what is commonly known is not usually commonly practiced. And I am the perfect example of this. I knew about a checklist long time ago, but the only checklist that I really had was the one that consisted of which snacks I wanted to get every weekend. But, you know, there has to be more to life than just snacks, right? Okay, I guess the real question that I am trying to answer is, how can I use this checklist to actually improve my life more than just by remembering my snacks? And that's when I started to ponder and think and really think about this. What is something that I do on a regular basis that is part of my desired profession and something that I tend to miss a lot of things from time to time? YouTube! Okay, you see, I noticed that when I was making videos, I would usually miss a few steps. For example, I would forget to set up a thumbnail, make a title, write a proper description. All of which are small steps, but in fact are vital to me making it out in YouTube. So the problem was there. The only thing that I needed was implementation. So that's when I started to look around and try to find something that was fitting of a checklist. A simple printer paper? No, it's too long. Tape? No, I can't write on it. And so I went, and after thinking about many possibilities, I found it. It was in a drawer, it was hidden, and in fact, you could say that it's as if it was just waiting for me. Alright, so what is this thing, you ask? Well, index cards. So I was ready to go. All I needed was a pen. I simply grabbed it from my bag and boom, I started to make my checklist. I started to think about all the things that I would do in the video making process. The total of things that I came up with was around 25 items. And there was no way I was going to make a 25 item list. So I decided to break it down into 4 categories: editing, thumbnail and descriptions, scripting, and filming. Now I was ready. I was fully prepped up, ready to conquer the world. And so I gave this checklist type of thing a try for about a week. If at the end of the week I was satisfied, I was gonna keep doing it, and if I wasn't, well, oof. And so away I went. Little by little, I started to check things off. Trimming? Check. Chapters? Check. Sound effects? Check. On and on and on. I kept checking things like it was the IRS on audit day. And boy, do I have to tell you that checking things off physically with a pen is extremely satisfying. And the only thing that I can compare it to was when I first tasted chocolate. Splendid. Just splendid. As things started to work for me with this checklist, I couldn't stop myself from thinking about different possibilities of how can I use this? Can I use this in my morning routine? How about night routine? How about my homework? And as it's with anything in life, the more you start to think about anything, the more problems could arise. You see, after thinking all of these possibilities, I started to think, man, you know what? It's going to be really hard making checklists every day. You know, doing them by hand is going to be quite a hassle, and I'm not sure it's going to be worth it. And so I simply thought, oh, well, maybe I could just print them. And well, yeah, I guess, but I'm going to need paper, I'm gonna need ink, and well, ink is very expensive, you know? In all, I was kind of heartbroken because I thought I was gonna be able to make it out in the world and conquer it. Finally put some organization in my life. So, I gave up. Just kidding, we do not do that here. Okay, so here's what happened. I simply opened up my laptop and there it was, the solution, the thing that was going to heal my broken heart. It was there the whole time without me noticing, and I couldn't help but remember all those times I had so many hints from shy girls, and well, I didn't know what to do about them. Sorry for going on a ramble, but here is the solution. It's going to be Google, specifically Google Tasks. And yes, I know I have already talked a lot about Google Calendar, Google Reminders, Google Tasks, and I will have to promise I am not in no way sponsored by Google. Within Google Tasks, you're going to find yourself being able to check things off, or tasks, and you're gonna be able to put a date to them, a deadline, and you're going to be able to make different sets of tasks, i.e. different checklists. And it seems very perfect. I mean, I can take it wherever I want. I can make as many checklists as I want to. I can add deadlines to them. However, I am not going to be able to physically check things off. So I was faced with a decision. Am I going to sacrifice my time, my effort into making physical checklists for the satisfaction of checking things off? It was not easy, but I had to go with the new kid in school, Google Tasks. You see, the deal was just too good.
You promised, you weren't like the other ones.
But here's the thing about checklists, they help you remember things. But if you don't have the proper system to support that system, you're going to be in some kind of trouble. And so that is why I recommend you watch the video right here so that you may be able to stop being such a forgetful mess like I was. Stay sharp, Improvement Gang. I will see you on the next one.